All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. And today is a exciting day. I'm super excited for what is about to go down as far as content today. Really quickly before we get started, as always, I start off with a thought-provoking question or something because it's just simply me. And today it is, have you ever really wondered how tough it is to navigate adult friendships? Like sometimes that stuff can be so hard when we get into the back end of our 20s and we're living life and life is life and we get into relationships, we get married, we start having children, different things start transpiring in our life. And sometimes it can be extremely difficult to foster the connections that we need to with the people who have held us up across the various years of our life. Where today, in today's episode, we're going to uncover just how important it is to properly navigate those relationships, have difficult conversations, and lean on those friends who have constantly been in your corner year after year. I couldn't be more excited for the guest that I have here with me today, and we're about to get into some real good talk this evening. So stay tuned for what's about to come next. I'll see you guys in a minute. Opportunity, emotion, grit, relentlessness. Cling to the sound of my voice and understand that what you want wants you. What you need needs you. And you are relentlessly becoming relentlessly better. Welcome to the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. Let's go. All right, guys. Welcome to episode 3 of the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. New life, new city, new friends. I am excited to have the ones in the building. I got the Dallas Duns here, my close and consistent friend group for the last 5 years. These guys have really held me up in more ways than I can describe, and I'm just super excited to have them on this couch. They have heard about this idea probably for the last 2 years, and they've constantly championed me about doing it, and I would not do a season and start this podcast without having them here to have this conversation. So welcome my brothers, my guys, DeAndre, TaDarien, who goes by Pooh, and Trevoris, Trey Mack. I got the guys in the building. What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
Awesome. Well, anybody who knows me around Dallas knows that if you see me out, I am more than likely with at least one, if not all 3 of them. We run in a pack, and we pack to run. And so that's just how we do. We get it how we live. And these guys are some solid guys. And we've been through, some really high highs, and we've been through some really low lows over the course of our friendship for the last couple of years. And Dre is really the nucleus of our friend group. And so all of us in some kind of way started our friendships because of Dre, which is why he's sitting right here to my right. And we're going to go on down with our stories. But Dre has been friends with Pooh for the longest. And then me and Dre became friends when I was in grad school. So funny story, we actually both went to Mississippi State, but we did not talk in school. I thought he was too stuck up. But after undergrad was when we sparked our friendship, and we just really connected and built a strong brotherhood to the point where he's become one of my best friends. Also, I met Pooh when I was getting ready to move to Dallas. I came down to apartment hunt, and it was his birthday. Yeah. And him and Dre, his cousin, and myself went to a football game, and we had a blast. And ever since then, we just connected. And I knew when I got to Dallas that he was going to be a part of the circle that I hung out with as well. And then through Pooh, we integrated Trey into the group because they're both from Greenville. All 3 of us are from the Memphis, Mississippi area, but Pooh and Trey grew up together. And he integrated us into his life, and we integrated him into the group, and it just became the perfect blend of everything. Like, you get a little bit of everything in this group with us, and all of us are different. And so I'm just eternally grateful for my crew, and I'm thankful to have y'all here with me on this journey. So as we get started, of course, in our true fashion, because we play all day, we're going to play a game. Okay. And I'm going to call out a question or a scenario, and I want you to write which one of us you think fits that scenario on your whiteboard, and we're going to flip it around to the camera. So we're going to do that with a couple of things. And so the first one, most likely to throw the first punch in a bar fight. So we're going to take 5 seconds. All right. Everybody ready? All right, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
It's a known around here. If you bring trouble, he gonna be the first of our group to finish it, but you better believe the rest of us coming behind.
Don't mess with us.
You hear me?
Don't mess with us. I ain't trying to curse, but don't mess with us.
Don't mess with us. I'm telling you, he is a defender to the core, but we thank him for that. That's his role in our group.
I'm finna go get Pooh on you.
Exactly.
Quit playing with me.
The next one, the most comical sense of humor. The funniest.
I mean, we already know.
Okay. One thing about Trevoris, Leonardo, McIntosh, when you're around this man, you gonna laugh. This dude is so unintentionally funny. Like I got this video of Trey in my phone that whenever I'm in a bad mood or I'm feeling down, I just turn the video on. He like singing and just walk off. It was so funny. And I used that video to be like, you know what? I'm gonna channel that spirit that my brother was in and go from there. Most likely to play detective and find any information that you need. Who do you think that is? You ready? Ain't much getting beside, behind, on top of, under, around this mug right here. And Dre
be
know
like, I'ma find out.
When I say I can find out anything,
Dre know
I find out
everything.
something
Hold on,
about
give me
your
a
mom.
Okay.
His career should have been a private
Hold
detective.
on, give me a minute. It's him.
His career should have been a private detective. It's crazy. Most likely to cheer you up in a tough situation or give you a pep talk. I think that's a pretty easy one. Ready? Me. I am always on some encouragement type stuff. You know, I'm always the one to call if you're in a tough situation and you want to do a little pep talk or something like that. All right.
That's the daddy of the group.
That's what they call me. Most likely to come back tomorrow with a while after the club story.
We know this.
Yeah. Cause that's why I be leaving you.
Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready?
My answer different.
I was gonna say both of us,
It's-
me and Trey.
Y'all have the most vibrant guess what happened last night type stuff that be happening. It's
You
crazy.
gotta live a little.
YOLO.
Y'all have the most vibrant guess what happened last
I
night.
think mine was because of the trip we just got off of.
Oh, we just got
That's why.
we are fresh back from the Dominican Republic. So
Let's
it
not
was
talk about it.
It was an interesting trip
good.
to say the least.
It was fun, y'all.
It was an interesting trip. We'll do like 2 more. Most emotional. So most likely to bust out crying first.
Ooh.
This.
Overall emotion, like in any situation.
This can be Tuesday.
We know what y'all mean. What to y'all talking about? Flip it around. So I guess it's me. Me and Dre are the crybabies. We the most
We both put both of
emotional.
y'all names.
We the most emotional out of the group.
That's funny.
Most dramatic. That's an easy one. The drama, the theatrics are always on 10. You know, like you can get ready. The theatrics are always on 10. Ready?
I say Dre because Dre, he can be dramatic as fuck.
We really could have put slash both of them. We could
I
have
wanted
slashed him and Trey.
Let me tell you how. No,
Ooh.
Not me.
I would
I
say,
need a dramatic story of me.
oh, we got a couple. Cause you can get a
You
little dramatic.
can.
I think Trey takes the cake. I have
I
more
mean,
for
yes,
Trey.
Trey do. I wanted to put both names, but I had to Dre.
Think about which one.
Dre.
And most dependable. This will be our last one. I think most dependable. Ready?
I
Oh,
wanted
me
to say
too.
everybody.
I want to
I don't
say
like
this.
this note.
I want to
cut.
say
I like this now.
So I
Can we
think
cut that
I
out?
wanted to say I was finna put
I think that I'm the one who if you call at 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, you're gonna get an answer.
Mhm.
But I think in different situations, all of us can depend on one
each
another
other.
in a
Living
different
your
type of
life
way.
life.
So I
depending
think
on the situation
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
it's dependent. So that wraps up our game. It's good to know we kind of on the same page with each other on some stuff. So I'm excited to know that, we kind of vibing the same as friends. And so over the last couple of years, we really, like I said, been through a couple of situations where, things have really just shook us as individuals, shook us as a group. But I think that the support that we've yielded each other is probably the thing that has sustained us, because as adults, it's so easy to forget about your friends. It's so easy to get wrapped up into a situation where you can't see how you could take yourself as an individual out of that situation, let alone see how you can lean on, other people in that situation. I think that's something that we have consistently done for one another. I know that if there's ever a point where I can't get a hold to all three of y'all via the group message, that at least one of you will respond and reach out and check on me. And there are situations that each one of y'all have been there for me. Some of our love is a little tougher than others, Pooh. But I think all in all, we all come from the same genuine place where we're trying to help the next one get better. And so really quickly, I want us to kind of uncover our stories of moving to Dallas. So I've kind of shared mine previously. I know when I first moved here, it's for a job, and I connected with Dre. It's like a God thing that happened. I connected with Dre in March. Didn't even know, I was going to be moving to Dallas by October. And then the next thing I know, I'm moving to Dallas. And so I got to move here for a job, and I just hopped up and did it and found a really solid friend group. So how did that really happen for each one of y'all? We'll start with Dre and then just go down the line.
Okay. Well, my story started in December of 2017.
I remember that.
I quit my job, and I was getting ready. I'm gonna say back in August, I got accepted into University of Houston Clear Lake for my MHA and my MBA, and I was gonna move there, but then Hurricane Harvey happened, and I was like, "No, I'm good." I'm good. So I was like, "What am I gonna do next?" So I started applying for schools in Dallas, and I got accepted. And so I came here in December 2017 with Pooh.
I was here
And I
for
had
a
a
Christmas
job.
break.
Yeah, I had a job interview, and I got the job. But still, just something in me like, oh, I'm not ready. Because I wanted my own place. I didn't want to sleep on nobody's couch or stay as a roommate, because it's just something I have never really had to do. So I was like, So I took a leap of faith and quit my job. And so I quit December 22nd of 2017. So after that, I was like, okay. So literally starting in January, I was applying for jobs after jobs after jobs. And thank God for my parents, because they did not look at me any type of way. They was like, okay, you trying to get yourself together? Because usually I'm the person that has my stuff together, like from point A to point B, point C. So I interviewed for United Health Group, which is the job I eventually got. I interviewed with them in January, mid-January. So I didn't hear nothing. So come February, I'm like, dang, I need a job. So I started applying for jobs in Memphis, and I got a job. I worked it for like 2 weeks, y'all. I was like, this is not for me. And luckily, it was in finance. And so I was like, So I got me one check, and I quit. So then after that, I had 2 interviews. Y'all, I literally was praying to God, like, oh my God, I gotta get a job. So when I went in one interview, I knew right out the bat, not for me. Nick, I went home after that interview. I literally prayed for an hour. Like, God, I need this. I need this. So I went to the interview. I got the job on the spot, and they say they don't even do that. So my mind, when I'm leaving, I said, okay, I'm gonna get this job, and then I'm gonna move to Dallas. So I was in the car with my mom, and we was riding down the street, and I literally told my mom, I'm moving to Dallas in March. I don't know where it came from. It was just like, I'm moving to Dallas in March. She was like, okay. You know how they be like, okay, But I literally said it. So I got the job, and I go home. And I literally get a phone call from United Healthcare telling me that I have a job in Dallas. And I moved in 30 days. And I actually moved on my birthday. So my birthday, this past birthday made 6 years for me. So that's my story, how I moved to Dallas.
God is good.
Yes, God is
Shout
good,
out to
y'all.
Mama Mice, man. Shout out to Mama Mice. So you really just touched on some points of being resilient and not letting a no or no response stop you from pursuing what it is that you really knew you wanted to do. And I think that is so important, especially when we get to that point for us in our early 20s where we're just getting out of college and we're really trying to figure that point out. I know it can be quite difficult to think about what your next move gonna be. Do I go to grad school? Do I jump up and move to a new city? Do I gotta go home with my mom and dad? I think all of those thoughts, and one of the most tumultuous things that you can ask a person when they get done graduating, and I'm looking right into this camera because I needed to zoom in. What are you doing next? Stop asking students that, because a lot of times we don't know what we're doing next. We trying to figure out what we're going to do today. So you can't be asking people all the time, what are you doing next? Because really that is a nerve-wracking question that causes a lot of anxiety for people. And so I know it can be quite difficult, but I'm super excited that you were courageous enough to constantly pursue what it is that you want. And I think that as your friend for 5 years, that is a quality that you have that you don't know that you have as a superpower to put your eyes on something and go laser vision to get it. And like, I'm always proud to see you doing it. And I know it didn't just start with moving to Dallas. It was before that, but to just know that story was embedded in it is a good thing. Now, player out of the group, Pooh, he's the most vibrant, non-caringest, as my grandma used to say. That's not a word. Like, go with the flow person, but his spirit is always so uplifting. And I'm telling you, he the muscle of the group. You know, he the muscle. Tell us about your story of getting to Dallas. Getting here to Dallas.
All righty. So with me, my little woo-de-woo, I'm just playing, but I visit Dallas like multiple times before I moved here. Dre, you know the story. But we're not going to talk about it. December 2017 was like around the first time I visited Dallas. So I used to come here a lot. I'm like, I think Dallas is the place I want to be. Ended up coming to Dallas again around March, then went to Houston for Dre's birthday. So then that's when I met Danae, which is one of our girlfriends or whatever. And I told
the producer of this episode,
right,
we add.
So I told her, I'm like, I'm going to move to Dallas. I don't know when, but sometimes next year. She was like, oh, Pooh, you got to move to Dallas. I'm like, okay. So like a year passed. I was staying in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Of course, I was there for like 3 years. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just jump out on faith. Step out on hope. Like, I'm just going to move to Dallas. Didn't nobody really know but my mom, my best friend, Dre. So I literally moved here. I remember the date like it was yesterday. I moved here July the 21st, 2019. So I've been living here going on 5 years. I moved in with somebody. But yeah, I'm here. I started off, when I moved here, I literally had like $200 in my pocket. So once again, y'all, if you feel like you need to move, or if moving is always on your mind, just do it. Like Nike said, just do it.
Exactly,
but I mean,
bro.
yeah, that's how I started off. I've been here 5 years. I'm an operation manager. I think I'm doing pretty well. I can be doing better, but I'm only 28, so step by step, little by little. But yeah, I'm doing fine. But yeah, long story short, I'm sorry. That's how I moved here.
Exactly. And I think that when it comes to you, because y'all know I love to give my friends their flowers. When it comes to you, it's just that, you know, when you make one thing about you, when you put something in your mind and you make your mind up, Ain't no changing it.
I'm
That's
gonna do it.
We could call your mama. We could tell you. Anybody, ain't no changing. You just get it in your mind and you lock in and you
Yeah.
do it.
When it's in my mind, it's stuck.
It comes to pass, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that I admire about you. Like you be dead locked on what you gonna do because you make up your mind that this is what it is, and you don't turn around from that.
I mean, it's life. You either do it or you don't.
You
but
don't.
Never be afraid. Never be afraid.
And so the socialite of the group, Trey Miggity Matt,
Dun, dun,
the
dun.
most social. I'm social, but Trey literally is the socialite of this circle. Tell us about you moving to and what's crazy is before you get started, all of us moved like synonymous to each other. So you came in July, I came in October. And Trey, you came January. So we was all within 2 or 3 months of each other, which is crazy. And we blended together. I think it was like 6 months after you moved here that we started hanging out. Our first time really kicking it was my 25th birthday. You came and bought a big bottle of liquor and you kicked it with us the whole weekend, and we've been inseparable as a four-way group since. So.
And then the thing about it, when Trey first moved here, we stayed in the same apartment complex, not knowing. And I'm like, where you stay at? Oh, I stay here. I'm like, I stay around the corner from you, like literally.
Yeah.
Not knowing at all.
Yeah.
So to get started, I think that me moving here was just a test of let me see if I can do it. Simply because I was always, the only child. I'm the only child for both my parents. Always in the house with my parents. Never had to actually pick up and do anything. And didn't know if I had the ability to even like live alone. So I was just like, it was a thing of I finished school. I was like, okay, what's next? And I knew that Greenville, Mississippi was not for me. Like, I was social enough down there. So I went to multiple interviews. I was driving back and forth to Dallas like every weekend, every other weekend. I would find time to party. I would find time to do interviews. I'd stay here for weeks at a time and just try to figure out what could I do to get out of my parents' house. It was between Dallas and Atlanta. It was. And I just went to Atlanta. Atlanta was way too much for me. I came to Dallas. I tried out Dallas, and I was like, okay, that's just right. I made friends in Dallas before I was even here. Before anything was set in stone, like, people was just, you can come crash here, you can come crash here. But that was not something that was on my mind because my whole life I was so independent. And so I just, like, one day, what I thought was going to delay me was that I graduated school. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pick up and leave. I told my parents, I was like, I'm going to pick up and go. They doubted it because, hey, you've been here with us your whole life. Like, you've had to do nothing.
Right.
So I was like, when I graduate, I'm gone. They didn't believe it. So I, one day I was leaving home and had a car, totaled the car. Someone pulled in front of me, totaled the car. I was like, oh my God, this is a sign. This is a delay. This, that, the other. That happened in December. January rolled around, and I'm still carless, of course, because I don't know what I want. I don't know, like, where the funds coming from. Again, I never had to do nothing. My daddy was just like, I'll get it on my time. So it was my 24th birthday, I think. It was my 24th birthday, and I walked outside in my car. My dad had went and got me another car, and, like, literally, y'all, the next day, I was packing my car. I loaded everything out of my room. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm gone. I came to Dallas, and I did 2 interviews with the job that I'm still at now. And they just called me back. They was like, hey, get started. And I have worked my way from ground up with that job. I don't know, yeah. My move here was just like a test of, let me see what you can do.
Dang.
I'm still building.
And I think the thing with you is, because you talked about you already had like connections and stuff like that. You're a natural social person. People gravitate towards you. And that's why so many people like come around our group and they'd be like, who is all these people, want to be around us. But that's because you have a natural aura that just attracts people because you are a fun, good time. Like, you do not let anybody around you remain sad. Like, you gonna aid them in what they're going through, but you do not allow people to stay sad or in a sunken place or down around you. You always find a way to liven everybody up, whether it's you forcing people to take shots or just simply, turning on music and we bopping and bouncing around the crib. It's gonna be something that's gonna be done, by you that's gonna uplift the entire room that's there. And that's something that I really appreciate about you and shows at the nucleus of your story. And all of y'all really gave some amazing points on just how you took your journey and your thought process on what you wanted and put that into charge, into action. And so if there was a tip or two that you can give anybody watching this video who's looking to take that leap to move to that city or take that step out on faith and leave their hometown and go somewhere different, what would that tip be? And for me, mine would be, plan as much as you can. Some things are sporadic and they work out, but I know for me, I had things kind of in place for when I moved, but first I prayed on it. So that's what I would say, pray on it about the opportunity. And God just laid everything out for me to plan, and things went how, they were in accordance to the plan that I concocted through him. So that would be mine. Pray on it and then plan as much as you can.
And then the thing about it is a lot of people always be like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. You can, but you're just scared to do it. Like, don't be scared at all. You only got one life. Like, come on.
Do.
Get with the program.
What about y'all, Dre and Trey? Y'all got any tips?
I would backpedal what you said. Pray about it, because that's something that I did. I prayed about it, and God literally gave me the answer. And just to piggyback off the story, I literally before I came here, I had literally $500 to my name.
Yeah.
And then I was just building. So it's literally like you really have to take that leap of faith and pray about it, because God will give you that answer.
He will.
So that's what I would say.
Mine is just gonna be just do it.
Just do it. Like Nike.
Like Nike. Just
Yeah,
do
like
it,
Nike,
y'all.
just do
When I say
it.
I literally got a car one day, packed it the next, and was gone with the wind, my parents was like, "You sure?" Yes. And I came down here and thrived. So if any of us can do it, y'all can do it too. I promise. Just pick up and go.
I sure packed my little Nissan out to my mom was on the phone crying. I'm like, Mama, it's cool. I'm gonna be fine.
That Mustang was loaded.
And the thing that I want to point out is all three of them are only children. I'm the oldest of four. All three of them are their parents' only children. And that's crazy how we connected. And they're just like amazing brothers. And then the thing to point out too is not only do we all work 9-to-5 jobs, but we all got motion in other areas too. So of course I do the podcast, I do public speaking. Dre is a skincare guru. Skin line coming soon. And he's going to take over the world. He is a skin, like you could literally hit him up about anything going on with your skin. And he's going to give you the exact prescription. Like he's going to ask you the question and be like, what's going on with your skin? And he's going to give you the prescription that you need. Pooh has a clothing line and he's a creative. Like he thinks of all of these amazing ideas. He puts into and might I add, we all know how to dress. Let's put that out there too. This group of four know how to put. We know how to put it on. And he has his own fashion line, and he comes up with all these creative deals. And then Trey is just the jack of all trades with his hands. Mac made it. If you need some gear, if you need something created, concocted, an idea, he does everything from like flyers and graphics all the way down to T-shirt design and animation and stuff like that. Is so much talent within the four of us, and we really bounce, thrive, and reflect off each other. And I think that that's amazing about our friend group too, is the way that we just hold each other up with our creativity and the things that we do outside of the work that we do for other people. Is so amazing to see. And so the next thing that we really can get into, because we talked about how we all conjoin, how do we all continue in different leagues to set boundaries with each other? Because they're so important. I think when we first started hanging out, it was a thing where we were going out every weekend doing something, 5 years ago. And
Sunday through
Saturday. And now things have gradually slowed down. We get to get in that individual time and having to say, hey, today I just can't make it. Today I don't have it in me. I need a break. Well, I need a break from y'all. How do we navigate setting those boundaries with each other and still showing up as friends? How is that personal time important to you, and how do you communicate and navigate that with your friends? I think for me, since y'all want me to go first,
I don't want to go
Yeah.
first.
I think for me, y'all know I'm probably the most off the gut out of the four of us. If I'm feeling something, I'm gonna come straight off the rip with it. Like I'm gonna tell you, like, no, I ain't gonna make it today. No, I'm not coming. No, I don't really feel like it. No, I'm not really feeling this right now. And for me, because I love y'all and I love being around y'all, it's important that I get that time with y'all, but it's also important for me that I get those moments to hang out with other friends, or important that I get those moments to have me time.
Yeah.
And setting those boundaries for me looks like communicating that transparently with
Right.
y'all and being open and honest about that to say, love you, you're my brother. Today I just ain't gonna make it out tonight. I ain't got it in me to do a happy hour today. Today wasn't it for me, or I'm not available this week. I think I set boundaries through clear and transparent communication is something that's important for me. And it can be hard to do, especially when you got friends who could be temporal or who could be sensitive or who could feel abandoned by that. Thank God we don't have that issue in our group. If you say you're not gonna make it, the rest of us gonna go on and tell you how much of a good time we had.
Just communicate.
We have people in this world who are like that, and so for me to ensure that we don't get that way, clear communication would be mine.
Right.
I would say for me, it's a little different. I would say for me, I'm learning how to set boundaries in my friendships because I'm
Wow.
typically the type of person, like all throughout my life, like me being the only child, I feel like I put that in my friendships where
Yeah.
I go ghost sometimes, and it's not good. And I have noticed that, like, even if I'm in a relationship or I'm focused on a goal, I kind of go ghost and I don't really say anything to anybody. So people be wondering, like, my friends sometimes be wondering, what is going on? Is Dre okay? Is this? And I really be okay, but I be so focused on one thing, and I don't think that's healthy. And I want to say that to y'all.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that I definitely have to work on. But a boundary that I will set going forward is to communicate because I feel like that is the biggest thing with friendships.
Most
Is to
definitely.
communicate with one another because we're going to get it. So it's just say, I can't go.
Right.
And that's all it is, just a simple answer. So that's what I would say.
I like that was really good.
That was
Yes.
good. Back to you on going ghost. Once again, like you said, communicate. We're not gonna go deeper into it, but we always talk to you about
Yes,
communication.
yes.
So that's all we want from you, DeAndre. Communication.
I hear y'all.
But also, like he said, he's the only child. I'm the only child, and Trey's the only child. Like boundary wise, we all set them different. Me, bro code is number one.
Hands down.
Number one. And then on top of that, we all respect each other.
Yes.
So I mean, like that's boundaries for me. So
I believe that over the course of the past 5 years that I have picked up on everyone's temperament. So without you even telling me, I know whether I can reach out to you and be like, hey, let's go grab a drink, or hey, let's go to this party. Or I know that you'll wake up Friday morning and be like, oh, I want to pop out this weekend. And
Yeah.
I'm the friend that's just always, okay. Like,
on the go.
I'm like,
That's
okay.
true.
Let's
That
go.
bothers me
Yes.
because I don't know. I just like having a good time, and
Yeah.
I don't want any of my friends sitting in any funk. Whether you tell me that you feel a certain way or not, I know that something is signaling why you want to go out. Something is like poking at you. That's why you don't want to be in the house. So that's why I'm the friend that's just like, let's go do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I take pride in it, which is why my boundaries are kind of like non-existent, like, because I don't have boundaries when it comes to them, especially. Like, they can call me for anything, and we go forward. So,
And I think that it just makes it all the more golden as we go through our friendship is being able to have, moments where we could reflect and say, hey, I could have did this better. Or I think, because I think all of us have been in situations where, because we're all adults with different mindsets, where one or the other has done something to be like, I got to give you a talking to, most of the time, I'm the one who give the speeches and the voice of reason for everybody. But I think all of us have had a situation. I don't think me and Pooh really had a
Nah,
combative
we
situation.
haven't.
Because we really be on big bro, little bro. And I really do know that you listen to my opinion. And I like appreciate that so much. And that's why I always try to tell you whenever you solicit advice from me, the best of the best, because I really appreciate that. But even in our friendship, there have been times we've had to have difficult conversations. In y'all's friendship, it's been times in our friendship we've had to have difficult conversations, but we also always sustain and bounce back from those, because I think that the way we go about understanding each other, which is the point that Trey just made. Like, okay, I know, Trey's mad today. Trey's a bit dramatic.
Just
I
let
have to give Trey like 24 to 48 hours. Then he gonna come around and laugh. They know, Ray is pissed off right now. Let's give him an hour. It only take him an hour to calm down. We're not gonna talk to Ray on the way to the club. We're gonna let him get to the
Let him
club.
cool down.
And then once we get to the club, we're gonna ease on over to see how he feel, because that's how they did me in the
Me, you
Dominican
good,
Republic when I was
brother.
pissed that they was late. But after an hour, these my brothers. So
Right.
it's just like that. And I think that being able to navigate those difficult conversations is just important, and it's necessary in real friendship.
Yeah.
The reason that we are looked at as a pillar of real friends is because we're not just a turn up crew, but we're a crew who, when some real stuff happens, we're really there to support each other and to hold each other up. And so, what is a time for each one of us that you can think of where the friend group has really been there to like have your back and be of support to you? And I think I'll go first, of course. For me, I just recall like several situations. Y'all know I'm high energy, and I just recall several situations where like I've been in a really low place, and I felt like, I'm trying not to get emotional. I felt like y'all were the only three that got me. Not only got me because I can talk to you, but you got me because you're here with me, and you're able to come and like check on me, and you're able to say like, I remember when I was going through a situation with my job where I like really hated my job, and every Friday Trey texted me and was like, happy hour today. Like, you made that time. You got your own stuff going on. And like, you made that time for me to be able to be there. Or whether it's I'm going through a situation where I'm on the back end of y'all know. And I gotta lean on y'all. And Trey is texting me like, hey, you wanna go out, you wanna get a drink, you're not sitting over there drowning your thoughts. And then Dre is texting me like, hey, I know this is going on, and I know you in this time, I just want to make sure you're okay. And Pooh is texting me like, you better get your sup and get with it, because ain't no show stopping because of this. All of y'all giving me that love in different ways, but it's genuine to who you are as a person. And I don't know if I ever really share that it's really needed. I do a lot of pouring, but consistently. Like, I have my best friend Courtney, who she lives in Atlanta. She gonna check on me every day, and I have Zakia and Watisha, who are my other two female best friends. They're gonna always check in too. But you guys are here on the ground with me. Like, y'all are the first responders to my crisis, is what I look at y'all as. And having that in my life is something that could never be replaced, and I've been through a lot of situations, and y'all are always the first responders. And I just think that is something that is golden in friendship, and it's necessary, that when some real stuff happens, we ain't just going to the club on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But it's like, okay, we gonna meet up over Ray House, and we gonna let him get this out, and then we gonna develop a plan with him on how he gonna get better, or doing it for the next. And so I think for me, those are the situations that reign prevalent in my mind when I think about real stuff going down, and y'all being there for me.
Yes, I love that. So I would say for my 29th birthday, I was really going through a dark era in my life where I was in a horrible relationship. I was dealing with financial problems. And I remember us sitting in that seafood place. I can't remember the name right now. But y'all literally planned a
Papa Do's.
I don't think it was Papa
We
Do's.
were in Edison.
Yes.
It's something.
Yes. And y'all literally planned a whole birthday party for me. And I didn't want to do nothing, y'all. I literally was so dark. Like, I'm so excited for my birthday every year, but that year I didn't want to do nothing but be in the house.
Oh.
Yes. Book the
Yeah,
house.
okay.
Everything.
And when we got there, y'all, I literally broke down in front of everybody. And my friends literally took me outside and said, please get yourself together. We know this is not the moment right now. And for that, they really showed me that y'all are there for me.
That
Yeah.
crazy day.
Yes, they really showed me that y'all was there for me. It was crazy.
We had a time. I think that we ended up concocting.
Wilder.
We ended up
Yes.
concocting a good birthday for you. There,
Yes.
you know.
And when they
fuck.
like it showed me because I'm a person like I'm that person you're not gonna see me crying in public. None of that. I do that at home, but that moment really meant a lot to me. That these are my brothers for life. Yes, and I
I
thank
live.
y'all. Love y'all.
Pooh.
All right. With me, everybody, like, I could depend on each one of y'all for like different situations. I mean, Trey and Ray, well, all three of them, if you're going through a relationship, breakup or whatever, I can depend on all three of them with that. Once again, Trey, he's kind of the wild card. Get out your feelings. Let's go drink. Turn up, shot, shot, shot.
Yeah.
What Natalie Nunn said, Betty.
Betty
Yeah.
shot o'clock.
Yeah, because why are we down?
But also like with me, my godmom, she passed away from cancer. So I remember one year, all three of them, like, they literally like welcomed me with arms and like, brother, you got this. You're gonna pull through this. I'm pretty sure everybody like understand where I was going through, but especially Trey, because he was dealing with that too. I can also talk to Ray about anything, but also Ray was there with me. When I was in the middle of looking for an apartment, I stayed with Ray for like 2 to 3 months. He opened doors. He was like, Pooh, if you need to stay here, you can stay here. I'm like, I ain't trying to stay here too long, but I don't really want to stay here. But I'm like, I think I'm going to move back to Mississippi. They was like, nah, brother. We know you. We know you not moving back there, so quit all that talking and come. I got another room you can come sleep in. So I stayed with Ray for like 2 to 3 months, and I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like, I feel like I was overwhelming, like what it is. Overstaying my welcome, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I felt like I was doing, but I eventually got on my feet or whatever, which I wasn't down, but I was just looking for somewhere to stay. Then I found somewhere to stay. I'm good now. That situation there, I was scared all at the same time, but Dre and Danielle, she was there, like both of them was there for me. So like, once again, different situation.
So I guess we all know which route I'm gonna take, but I can say that they've all been there for me countless of times. Like anytime I can call, but most recently, 2.5 weeks ago, I got the call that my dad was unresponsive and I had lost my dad. So, I think me being 6 hours away from home, not knowing what to do. I had literally just got in my car, like normal day, taking my dog to get vaccinations, and I got the call, and my body shut down mid-drive, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, what direction to go in. I feel like I know that the first group text that I went to in my phone was these three. And I sent it, and I feel like my body after that just went numb, and I just stopped responding to anything. I wasn't answering their phone, and these people were blowing me up, like, where are you? We're on the way. We're about to do this, that, the other. Like, they were ready to drop everything and drive me to Mississippi. But granted, my other friend, Mike, he picked up everything, and he just was like, I'll take you and go. So I feel like them being there, like willing to drop everything that they had going on. I don't know what these people. It was a Saturday morning. I don't know what these people could have been doing. I don't know like what could have been on their mind. But for them to be willing to drop everything and come to, like, I don't know, to my saving grace was, it just did a lot to me. Even then, even afterwards, they checked on me every day. They still check on me every day. They make sure that I'm eating. They make sure that I've prayed for the day. They make sure that I'm on my normal routine. And then they just dropped everything and came to Mississippi for the funeral. Like, you don't have friends who just drop everything and come quick. Craig's in trouble. That's what my friends did. Like, and that just means the world to me. Like, there's nothing that, if they need this shirt that I have on right now, I would take it off and give it to them, because you don't have friends like that anymore. People are not genuine. People are not real. And I feel like these people we have a relationship that's, I don't know. It's unexplainable. Like, I don't know. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Only we
I'm
understand.
going to stop now because I don't want to
Get
cry.
emotional. We got you.
Yeah,
we got you. And we wouldn't have been nowhere else. It was not even a second thought that, we would have came and supported you, because if it would have happened with any of us, we would have all been there. And I think that it's just so important to recognize how we support each other. And I think at different times in all of our lives, we have been the wind beneath each other's wings. I think that we have constantly held each other up and caused the next one to fly. And I think that's what true friendship is all about. Like, we get mad at each other. Oh yeah, we get mad. Like, we get mad, we get annoyed. I might call up Dre, I might call up Pooh, I might call up Trey if I'm mad at one or the other, and be like, you know what your friend did? Like, that's your friend today. You know what your friend did, but ain't nobody outside this circle gonna know what your friend did.
Oh,
and I think that is important. We keep things within the circle, and we don't take that outside of it, because the trust and the loyalty is so tight. But it's okay to be upset with your friend, and I think that is the thing that I want people to recognize from this, that it is okay to get in moments where you are upset with your friends. It's okay to get in moments where you have to hold people accountable. That's whether you in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s. If you got people around you that you love and cherish, remember that they are human and that humans make mistakes. And I know for me, for the last 74, tomorrow makes 75 days, you guys have constantly reminded me that even though I am a person who is capable of making mistakes, that I have a heart that surpasses those mistakes. And I think that is important to remind your friends. When you are good people, it doesn't mean that you aren't flawed. It doesn't mean that things won't happen where you won't have a good day, or you won't get into an argument with your friends, or you won't say or do something wrong in your relationship, or you won't need to be accountable for the way that you treated your parents today. It's okay to be in that position, because you're human. If you were perfect, you would be God, and you're not God. But I think that it is important to keep people around you who call you out, but they also call you back in. Like, I'm going to call you out and let you know what you did wrong, but I'm going to call you back in and let you know, hey, you still great. You still got it going on. You still that dude. You still powerful. You still can impact people. You still can change. You still my brother, my friend. And I think that the thing about Black men in general, especially, in Dallas and in some of the settings that we're in, it could be so competitive. But we don't compete with each other. Like, we going stupid when something I remember when I bought my house, like, y'all was so excited, like, you did that. And I think that's the thing that happens amongst our group, and it's important for people watching this to understand that you want to keep people around you. If you hanging around people and they more excited about your blessings than you, then those are the type of people that you want to be around.
Them your friends. Them
those
your
your real
supporters.
friends. And so
Right.
I think that it's important to remember that. What are ways moving forward that we could support each other as individuals? So personal ways that for the other three of us, we could support you as an individual for each one of us. And I think for me, it's just continuing to hold me accountable. I deal with so much in the day, whether it's work, whether it is producing this podcast, the idea behind it, whether it's booking gigs and speaking and flying out of town, whether it's just simply being in the house and drowning in my thoughts about what I didn't accomplish today. I think keeping me accountable to say, hey, do it this way, keep pushing, keep going, look at yourself and reevaluate this, but hey, you still got it. I think that is support for me that I don't really get elsewhere, and that is valuable and that I cherish about, having the three of y'all in my life, and I don't want to stop.
I would say for me, I would say what Ray said, keep holding me accountable, but also pick up the phone or FaceTime, just call me. Because if I see y'all face, I'm gonna come. Because I'm a phone person. Like through text, I hate text. It's one of the main reasons why I don't text back real quick, but I'm a phone person. Like pick up and call me individual because I love to hear y'all voices, see y'all.
Yeah.
Because even though we got our own lives and things are happening, I still want to hear from y'all.
For sure, for sure.
With me, just keep being there for me. No matter what, like even if I seem like I'm like the toughest person or like the party person, like everybody go through stuff or whatever, but like just keep being there for me, keep giving me your opinion, keep putting me in my place, because y'all know I can go
Get rowdy.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, just keep being there for me.
For me, I would say I just want all of y'all to just keep calling me a friend, because
Yeah,
that's what I like. We're brothers,
bros for
but-
life.
and we're locked in, but a friend is something that you rarely come by.
Right.
Yeah.
So for y'all to just pull me in and like be like, okay, this is our brother, this is our friend, and we have grown like from. I feel like we went to pre-K together.
Really
the way
do.
that the way
Literally.
that our lives have been, I feel like we have been together for life, and I just want to continue to be there for y'all, how y'all be there for me. I want to show up.
Mhm.
So as long as I can show up for y'all and y'all show up for me,
We
then
gonna show out.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
And the men that we are now are not the men that we were 5 years ago when we moved to Dallas.
thank God.
Ooh, thank God for
We're so
growth.
different, and we look at things so different, and we just we be on a whole nother vibe when we get together. Like even when we vacation, like it just be so. It's just crazy how great things go. We be having our moments on vacation. We might get annoyed with the other, or something might pop out. But I think that just naturally, even being able to just say, "Hey, we're gonna go out of the country," and we can do that. We can afford to do that. Nobody's, penny pitching, but also saying, you know what? If I need to get your flight right now because you got this going on and you need me to go and get your flight while they cheap, I got you.
got
It
you,
ain't even a
just-
quit. And I'm
yeah.
not shame or embarrassed to say, hey, brother, I got this going on this month. This flight 300. Can you go and grab that for me? And knowing, yeah, it ain't no thought. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is a. I'm gonna think about it. So Trey's birthday is the next birthday up, and we're taking over Belize. So I'm gonna have to see how much the flight is first before we agree. But just being able to be there and be like, I got you, I got your back is so important. And so as we get ready to close out, when you think about what's next for you as an individual and what's next for us as a friend group, what would that be for each one of us? And we're going to start differently on your end, Trey, and let you, because I've been answering all the questions
What?
first.
I don't know.
What's next for Trey Mack? Where does Trey want to go
I'm
next?
so spontaneous. I can't answer.
You
that.
are.
Y'all, I would breed dogs one day and sell you makeup the next. You cannot ask me stuff like that. I promise. Like,
Trey,
I
a Mary
will
Kay specialist.
literally- many talents. My hand is in many hats. So I can't tell you what's next for me, but I always expect greatness. I always expect me to level up. I'm never staying in the same place. I'm never just on one ball. Like, I'm going to put my hand, like I said, a man of many hats. I'm going to put my hand in any field that I can. Any opportunity that presents itself to me, I'm gonna take advantage of it. And I'm not only am I gonna take advantage of it, I'm gonna find a way to include my friends.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I need someone to do this. I need
Yeah.
you to do this. Like, can you run here for me? Like, we're gonna grow together. So, just growth is for me.
Definitely growth.
Like that.
With Trey saying growth, I'm gonna add wealth, growth, and wealth for me.
Exactly.
Growth and wealth for all of us. We grow every day, so yeah, definitely growth and wealth. Growth in life, growth in hope, growth in faith, like just growth.
Just grow.
Grow
Like that.
like a seed in soil.
That's good. I like that.
I would say for me is going to the next level in my career because I is just get started in the finance industry, but also coming out with the skincare line. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's coming.
Oh yeah.
I am putting up some stuff in the works. I've been real quiet about it, but it's definitely coming, and God got His hands in it. So I would definitely say that for me.
Yeah.
You need me to be an ambassador.
You
We
can
all
be.
gonna be.
Yeah.
My skin is burned right now. So.
Baby.
Oh, but
And I'm
Belize
doing-
did us
and I'm
bad,
doing-
child.
And I'm doing everything I can. I'm sending stuff in the group chat. Hey, you put this on your face.
Yeah.
yes.
Belize did us
It
bad.
is. I love it.
Belize did us bad. I think for me as an individual, it's just to stop feeling so guilty about stuff. You know, I wear guilt like this gold necklace on my chain because I really have a heart that desires to love and be loved. And sometimes that gets taken advantage of. Sometimes I get into situations where I pull the guilt and the weight of other people onto me. And as I grow in life, I want to release guilt. I can still be compassionate. I can still be, there for all of the people who I choose to be there for. But I don't want to feel guilty in the moments that I'm not, in the moments that I have to save some of me for me. So I think as an individual, I want to grow in not feeling so guilty about the moments that I got to step away and do for Ray. Because if I spread myself too thin, I won't have anything left for me. And I don't want to get to a point where I've accumulated all this outside stuff. But then when I get home, I don't have any peace because I feel so guilty and my mind is boggled down with that. And then with us as a friend group, it's like Dre said, to go to the next level. I imagine getting Emmy Awards and getting national awards and being on TV. And when I look in the crowd, I'm crying and my nose snotty because y'all sitting down there in your custom Tom Ford suits that Wayman and Micah set us in. I imagine that. I imagine being able to abundantly text in our group message and say, y'all know what? We going to Belize this weekend, all on me. We going to Jamaica, all on me. We finna fly to Paris, all on me. Private. I imagine being able to just wake up and say, you know what? I'm finna bless Trey with 10K today. I'm finna give Pooh 10K today. I'm gonna give Dre 10K. I'm gonna give Danielle 10K just because I got it and not miss it.
I need my
And so
money.
I imagine being that type of friend and getting to that level where I can continue to be a blessing to each one of you because you all will continue to be a blessing to me. Not just financially, but in my spirit, in my mental, in my health, in my well-being as a man overall. Because as men, we weren't raised in spaces where we got to talk about well-being like that.
Right.
And we got to talk about the way that we feel. And I just covered that in the second episode. We didn't get that a lot. And so just being able to continue to be that outlet for each other and hopefully inspiring other friend groups to do the same. Hopefully inspire other friend groups to be able to be there, for themselves as well. And so let that hurt go.
Let it go.
Because they
Let it go.
ain't gonna let you be hurt too long. I'd be probably the most hurt out of all of us, and then it would be Dre, and then it would be Trey, and then it would be Pooh. As far as the feelings, but let it go. Cause this what y'all Pooh be like, stand up. I was in New Orleans. We had a situation I'm not gonna go into depth, but Pooh almost snatched me on Bourbon Street in New Orleans.
What
I
was
had
that
a
face?
breakdown. I looked at Pooh face. I said, okay, I'm going to get it together, brother. I'm going to get it together. Trey was like, it's going to be all right, brother. It's going to be a Pooh was like, And I was like, okay. I looked at his face. I said, yeah, I know what time it is. Let me just get myself together and go. But y'all gave me that outlet to share, and then you was like, tomorrow, okay, we over there. We don't want to hear about this tomorrow. You know, and I appreciate that too for y'all being there for me in that moment. And so I just want to thank y'all for being brothers, for being friends, for joining me today for this conversation, and for just continuing to be there. And I'm excited about, you know, where we could go. Let me pick up my glass. I don't want to hit the mic. Handy dandy producer, can you hand me that? If y'all see a hand, it's our producer.
And while he getting his cup, I just want to give you your flowers, Ray. I just want to say I'm so proud of you for starting this platform. It is gonna go so far, and I tell you this all the time. We all are happy for you and proud of you. You inspire us. So I just want to give you your flowers right here, and y'all please tune in because it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big. I received it. I love y'all boys, man.
They make me love you too.
So this is to us and going forward. Let you finish, Pooh, if you was finna say something.
Okay, Ray, I don't think I can appreciate you so much for letting me crash at your place for one thing. And I want to say this here on camera, like, brother, I really appreciate you. I don't know how I can thank you enough. Like, I really, really, really appreciate you. And also, you know that I'm proud of you for doing your first baby. Like, come on. He been talking about this podcast for the longest, like he said in the beginning. Within 2 years, he always like, I don't know what I need to do, how I'm going to do this. But here we are today.
Thank God good.
So, cheers to that, brother.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I just want to say that you are a star.
Thank you.
I feel like there's nothing that could ever dim your light. And as long as we can pour into you to make sure that you stay on top of things, then like I'm gonna champion all of that. I want you to make sure that you give it your all, as you always do. And I want to make sure that you stay headstrong. I know we have things that come about in life that may just throw you off the ball. But like you said, when I call you for happy hour, when we get to happy hour, it's not just drinks. We're going to talk about what you're going through. We're going to figure out a way to navigate our way out of that situation. We're going to grow from that. We're going to grow. We're going to learn. And we're never going to revisit that.
We are.
Even when we're separate. Like, I don't know. It's just we feel one another.
We do.
I feel like I hear what they would say to you at our happy hours, and I'm going to speak for them. I'm going to speak for me, and I'm going to tell you, keep going.
Yeah.
So I just want you to continue to be, like, the dad of the group for us all. Like, keep that, like, I love you. It's life for us.
I love y'all boys, too.
The father of the
Never turn my
Dunn.
back on either one of y'all.
Yeah, I
To the
wouldn't
Dallas
either.
Dunn.
The Dallas Dunn.
All right. So, guys, as you can see, there is so much beauty in the power of friendship. Navigating friendships can be difficult, as we said, but it is amazing and beautiful when you really lean in and you depend on those people who you trust as your friends to be there for you, to pull you up and to pull you through. The late, great Whitney Houston once said, sometimes you'll laugh, sometimes you'll cry. Life never tells us the winds are wise. But when you have friends who wish you well, you'll find a point when you exhale. Thank y'all for tuning in to Relentlessly Becoming. We'll see y'all soon. And that's it.
I hope I did good.